welcome to another Free.volous webisode. Today I'm bringing you sort of a tutorial of this look you see here, and it's basically because most palettes nowadays that are coming out, they bring a boatload of neutrals, warm tones, you know what I'm saying, and then you have that big bright pop of colour, usually a blue because it's in trend, or an aquamarine, bluey, tealy, green, you know, that kind of colour. What to do with it? Do you dabble with it? Do you just leave it to rot in your palette? I'm just giving you an option of things to do with that kind of colour. I'm using the Dream Street palette from Colourpop. Again, Colourpop, I know. But you have so many palettes nowadays that have this kind of colours in them. So take from that which you will. You'll probably have a transition colour, a deeper brown in that palette, and then a highlighting colour and the pop of colour, blue or green or whatever. And I think this goes for any kind of poppy, cool toned colour, beachy themed. Without babbling anymore, I just urge you to leave me thumbs up down below, subscribe, leave me comments, let me know where you're from or something like that, and thank you for being there, and let's jump into the tutorial. Which way? I don't know. So I'm going to start off already with my foundation applied, a bit of bronzer and concealer, but I'll touch up wherever I need it. And I'm going to use for this tutorial the Dream Street palette, which was a collab between Kathleen Lights and Colourpop, and as you can see it has this really nice blue down here and several neutrals which I'm going to use, but you can use whichever palette you have at hand that has this kind of colours. I'm going to start with prepping my lids with Urban Decay Primer Potion. This is the anti-aging one because I'm aging, and I find this one to be a bit less thick or heavy on the lid, so it does not have coverage, but it does provide a good base for the eyeshadows to cling onto without looking crackly, which is something that the other Urban Decay primers tend to do. I just did a very soft layer, pat it in, making sure every little bit of my eyes is covered with this, and then I'm going to start using a transition colour. I'm going to use this, where is it? This colour here. These have the names. I think this is called Shooting Star. Don't quote me, the names are on the back. I never know where to start from, so yeah. And I'm going to take Shooting Star on my crease area. This is sort of it looks more neutral on the pan, and then when you apply it onto your eyes it looks a bit more warm, but it's a fairly neutral light brown, and I'm not being too fussy about it. I'm just not bringing it up to my brow bone. God damn it, I can't speak today. I'm just making sure the area, my transition area, so around my crease, a little bit below and a little bit above it, has a bit of this, and also the outer corner. And this on its own is a beautiful eyeshadow, as many in this palette. Taking a clean brush, just blending the edges, nothing too fussy. And then you can go two ways. You can either start right off with the blue, or you can start with the darker colour. I'm going to start with the darker colour. I'm going to take a denser, flatter brush, but it's still fluffy, and I'm going to take the darkest brown in the palette. This is Elfish, I think. Yeah, I think. And I'm going to apply it, just patting onto the outer corner and bringing it to the crease just above it. As you can see, I have wrinkles, so I'll have to sort of pull my lid. Hashtag aging problems. The same thing on the outer corner, on the other eye, just patting the product in. I'm not taking a lot at the time, and just having this kind of outer third of the eye And then what's left on the brush, I'm going to bring it along the crease. I'm still patting. And then I'm going to hold on the darker shades. I'm going to go straight to the blue one, which is called Mermaid Boy. And I'm going to take my fingers. Do you remember when using your fingers with an eyeshadow was something wrong, or meant that the quality of the eyeshadows was less than? Now everybody uses their fingers. And I feel like blowing a raspberry to everybody that was pedantic about using your fingers with an eyeshadow. There you go. I'm gonna work very gently in sections. I'm just going to pat it onto the lid, trying not to bring it to the crease, because then I'll use a brush to blend it out. And we have the blue. The blue. This blue has a bit of, it's kind of like a teal blue. So it has a lot of green and it's deeper. That's why I paired it with the deeper brown in the palette. If you're using a lighter blue, those aquamarine blues, you can use a lighter browny color, neutral, to just tone it down and bring it back to earth. I'm just going to take a brush and gently blend the edges. Sometimes you need less blending than you think. Just make sure you know the eyeshadows you're using and get to know how they work. Some of them need less blending and they will fade. And again, as usual, I'll go back in wherever I need with more blue and more brown. So I'm going to intensify the outer corner with a darker brown, and I'm taking the original transition color to blend it into the socket. That line there. The anti-aging is not anti-aging enough today. I keep opening my eyes and looking straight forward into the mirror so that I can see if the shadows can be seen when I have my eyes open. If you have a heavy fold, hooded lids, this is a good thing to do. Just don't be too harsh on yourself. Don't beat yourself too much. Repeat. And bringing the shadow with the blending color, the transition color. And then again, the blue on the center especially to make it more vibrant. Blending the harsh edges, trying not to touch the blue too much. So now I'm going to take a highlighting shade again from the same palette. This is Moony, and I'm going to take it on the inner corner of the eyes with a little pencil brush and blending it into the inner corner with the blue. This can brighten and lift the inner corner of your eyes. I hope you can see that. And I'm bringing the same color underneath my brow bone. I think this is just, it's slightly shimmery and all shiny, but it's not shiny enough that I dislike it immensely, I would say. Black eyeliner. Mine is the usual Marc Jacobs highliner. You can also use brown, which matches the dark brown from the eyeshadows. I just think for my deeper brown eyes, this looks, oh, big boo-boo. As I was saying, I just find that for my deeper brown eyes, this makes them pop, the black makes them pop a bit more. Taking my blending brush, a clean one, and just making sure there are no harsh edges on the eyes. So you should have something like this. And now I'm going to take the transition color on my lower lash line. So the transition color is called Shooting Star, I think. or it's twinkle. We'll never know. Bringing it along the low lash line, and I like to bring it really low, you know that. At least really low for me. And then you can go one of two routes. You can either go with the blue under the eyes, or you can go with the dark brown, whichever. I'm gonna go with the blue, so pray for me, and run it right along the lash line, just to make it look a bit more out of my comfort zone, I think. Blending it in with the transition shade, and let's see if we need a bit more eyeliner and mascara. You can curl your lashes, of course. I'm just too lazy. This is better than sex, by the way, but you know the drill. Whatever floats your boat. Now I'm just going to clean up underneath my eyes with a bit more of concealer. I hope this is not too bright for you, but anyway. Now for the skin, yeah, with this kind of eye, it's so impactful that I'm going to go all neutral. So bronzer and highlighter. I'm sorry, it's a bit dull, but it is what it is. And it is my interpretation of the look. So you can do whatever you feel like. You can always take a corally blusher if it suits your skin tone. Highlighter. This, I think, is important, at least for me. I'm just going to pat it in with my damp sponge to make it melt into the skin a little bit more easily. Both the bronzer and the highlighter are from Colourpop, and because I think the highlighter can go one step further, I'm going to add another highlighter. This is Wisp, again by Colourpop. This is not sponsored. I've been using a lot of Colourpop on my videos, I know. But basically when I want colour, this is where I end up almost all of the time if I'm not dabbling into Juvia's Place. Maybe I'll do a Juvia's Place tutorial soon, which would be fun. I haven't been playing with eyeshadows a lot and with colour. I've been using a lot of neutral face makeup and just mascara on the eyes basically, and a clear gloss or something. I haven't been too inspired. For the lips, again, neutral. I'm going to take, this is NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in Los Angeles. In my humble opinion, these are some of the best lip liners out there. Very similar to MAC Pro Longwear. They glide on the lips, they stay put. And a nude gloss. Let's go really expensive. Let's go with Lancome. This is... I can't read this. I'm old. L'Absolu Lac. No, sorry. L'Absolu Lacquer in 202. And I love these glosses because they create a stain. So that's really cool. One layer and it's really smooth and soft. And then when you go with 2 layers, it gets more impactful. You have more color payoff and also more glossiness, and I think it looks really nice, but I'm going to stick to this more satiny finish with just 1 layer. And this, my dear friends, this is what happens when you put no product on your hair and you let it hair dry. It looks absolutely dead. But other than that, this is the finished look. I hope you have enjoyed this sort of tutorial. This has inspired you to play up with those colors that leave you a bit insecure and that you think you will never go through in a palette. As I was saying before my dog's diva moment, I hope this has inspired you to play up with those colors that you always leave behind in a palette that are showing up like mushrooms everywhere in every single palette. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, leave me a thumbs up down below, leave me comments letting me know how do you use your weirder eyeshadows. Do you give them a shot? Do you play with them? And let me know what you want to see from me next. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and to share my channel and to share my channel with people that you think may be interested in it. Thank you for spending your time on me, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!